Difference in is it up? Okay, okay. Stop. Bent. It was bent.
Good evening, one and all. All the world is a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many roles. Life should not only be lived, it should be celebrated. Let us appreciate the hard work of these performers and celebrate this stage play as an art form. We take privilege in inviting you all to the valedictory ceremony of the Curioso 2022. We are also excited to announce that our literary club of PTU is stepping into its 31st year of glory, and we hope the future endeavors of the club will reach greater heights.
சூழ்ந்தின்பம் நல்கிடும் ஐந்தமிழன்னார் தோன்றுதல் நின்னுயிர் நான் மறப்பேனோ செந்தமிழே உயிரே நறுந்தேனே செயலினை மூச்சினை உனக்களித்தேனே நைந்தாயனில் நைந்து போகுமென் வாழ்வு நன்னிலை உனக்கெனில் எனக்கும் தானே முந்தைய நாளினில் அறிவுமில்லாது மொய்த்தன மனிதராம் புதுப்புணல் மீது செந்தாமரை காடு புதது போலே செய்த என் தமிழே ஒளியே வாழே செய்த என் தமிழே ஒளியே வாழே செய்த என் தமிழே ஒளியே வாழே.
Now I call Mr. Rahul Heti, final year, Civil Department, Secretary of the Literary Club, to deliver the welcome address.
A warm afternoon to everyone. We are gathered here to celebrate a momentous occasion.
Having witnessed the stars of the play dazzle us with their performance, we move on to the valedictory ceremony of Curioso, the flagship event of the Literary Club. At the outset, I extend my warm welcome to Professor S. Mohan, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Puducherry Technological University. His support and encouragement has been instrumental in ensuring that activities of the club are permitted and conducted promptly. I welcome Professor S. Sundaramurthy, Vice Chancellor in charge, for gracing this occasion with his presence. Welcome, sir. I take immense pleasure in welcoming Professor G. Sivraj, Registrar, Puducherry Technological University. In spite of not being able to make it here, he has ensured that we meet the highest standards set by the Literary Club and has provided us with all means necessary to carry out the activities proposed by us. Welcome, sir. I welcome Professor S. Kanmani, Dean Students, for granting us the permission and for felicitating the conduct of all events spanning this academic year. The guidance and advice we receive from you are invaluable. Welcome, ma'am. A hearty welcome to Professor E. Srinivasan, Dean, Alumni and International Collaboration. The encouragement you showered upon us have galvanized the team into action. Your words of support were the impetus in our drive towards excellence. Welcome, sir. I welcome all the deans, directors, heads of departments, members of the faculty, and the staff who have extended their support to the activities of the club. With 30 years of history and legacy to look back at, I take this moment to thank the initiators of the Literary Club for setting the foundation of this club in stone and for starting a legacy that continues on till this day. I take great pride in welcoming Mr. Sudhir, Vice President and Global Head, Risk and Compliance, Microland, and Mr. Arun Ramarathan, Coach and Independent Consultant, batch of 1993, to this event, as we mark one milestone and we set our eyes on the next one. Welcome, sir. I welcome the alumni who have thronged the auditorium, the torchbearers and standard setters of this club who have left the institute but have their souls and essence forever intertwined with the legacy of the club. I now welcome the wind behind our sails, the rock upon which we have relied on throughout our time, conducting events and executing programs with professional expertise, the convener of the Literary Club, Dr. Shanti Simon. We welcome you, ma'am. I welcome the convener of the auditorium and the staff of the auditorium and electrical wing for ensuring the sanctity of the premises. Welcome, sir. I welcome the participants, the finalists, and winners of the various events of Curioso. This is your moment, a moment for which all of you have braved the odds to be in, a moment for which we have all waited too long, and a moment which all of you will savor with a smile on your faces. I welcome the cast and the crew of the play Fools by Neil Simon, who have enthralled one and all with the commitment and talents, pulling off an inconceivably hard task with professional ease. I welcome the editorial team behind Expressions, the annual magazine of the Literary Club, Mr. Najmu Sehwani, President of the Literary Club, and Mr. Tarun John Sherry for putting in hours and days of diligence to give form to the expressions of the students of our institute. I welcome the members of the executive team, the team which was there when it mattered.
Thank you, Rahul. Now, I request Professor Shanti Simon ma'am to honor the dignitaries on the stage with mementos.
Ma'am, let's honor our Vice Chancellor. Next, we have our dear students. Next, we have our Dean Alumni. Next, we like to honor our chief guest, Mr. Sudhir C. and Mr. Arun Ramaratnam. Thank you, ma'am.
The Literary Club of PTU has conducted various events in the academic year 2021-22. It has also helped many students to enhance their skills and explore their talents. Now, I call upon Professor Shanti Simon, convener Literary Club, to deliver the annual report of the Literary Club for the academic year 2021-22.
Yeah, that's
Respected Vice Chancellor in charge, Professor S. Sundaramurthy, respected Dean Students, Professor S. Kanmani, respected Dean Alumni and International Collaboration, Professor E. Srinivasan, our guests for the day, very special guests for the day, I should say, Mr. Sudhir and Mr. Arun, the President of the Literary Club, Mr. Najmu Seherwani, the Secretaries of the Club, Mr. Rahul and Mr. Mandino, Dean's Directors, Heads of Departments, respected members of the faculty, members of the staff, all loving alumni who are here, and all my dear children. I stand before you today with very fond and firm memories of a 2-decade-long association with the Literary Club of this institute. From very humble beginnings, I think the initiators of the club are here. They'll talk about the humble beginnings that the club had. So from very humble beginnings, the club has grown in stature through the years because of the tireless efforts of many talented and interested souls. It has been fondly nurtured by several passionate well-wishers, and as a family, we stay connected by members past and present. It is a source of great joy that two of the initiators of the club are here with us today. And when I was discussing about the activities of the club with Mr. Arun and Mr. Sudhir, the excitement and the energy that radiated, I think, stand testimony to the depth and the intensity of the intimate involvement they had with the club. And I feel that the same spirit of involvement encapsulates the present members too. Built on very strong foundations, the initiative of the founders, I'm sure, have not gone waste. This club has been able to overcome all the challenges and etch a very lasting impression on the lives of many who have been part of this club. I'm sure that they will take us through those lanes of memory that lead to this hall of legacy, tradition, and history. The Descartesian philosophical proposition, cogito ergo sum, adopted as the tagline of the club, reminds us that every instant or every moment that we cease to think, we cease to exist. This forms the rational foundation of the literary club. The activities of the club are aimed at exciting the senses, gaining knowledge of the world, inciting the faculties of the mind, widening the horizons of thoughts and perceptions, and valuing the richness of teamwork. It provides opportunities to foster a love for letters, to enhance creativity, and provide avenues for expression. It is said that the essentials of happiness in this world are something to do, something to love, and something to hope for. This beautiful world of the literary club involves much to do, much to love, and much to hope that it provides happiness unbounded to everyone involved. The determination to do, the desire to love, and the passion to hope binds the members of the club, and this ethos keeps the club growing stronger and stronger. The spectrum of events conducted is wide. We have tried to engage the students on a daily basis with events being conducted using WhatsApp groups separately for the first, second, and the third years. The vocabulary boosters from Monday to Friday, The weekend special events designed to pick the creativity of the students to ensure that they have an outlet for their thoughts and ideas. Peclectics, a group specifically for quizzing, initiated by our alumni, enthralls all quizzers with interesting questions crafted with finesse. The group has introduced several of our students to quizzing also. Events on other significant days also add color to the activities of the club. In quizzing time, an intercollegiate quiz competition was organized as part of the Students' Day celebrations. The Literary Club, in association with HUTCO, celebrated Vigilance Awareness Week by organizing essay competitions, group discussions, and debates on various topics. It also observed National Constitution Day with debates and group discussions on topic of importance on issues consequential to today's world. We managed to continue the tradition of staging a play, and this time we had the adaptation of Fools by Neil Simon, directed, acted, and produced by our own students. All the events conducted as part of the Literary Fest, Curioso, met with stupendous response. Braving all odds in the seminar hall of the Chemical Engineering Department, students thronged in large numbers to be part of this festival of letters, and that is why many of you are here to receive the prizes. I use this opportunity to acknowledge and place on record our respect and gratitude to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor S. Mohan, respected Registrar, Professor Shivaraj, Dean Students, Professor Kanmani, Dean Alumni and International Collaboration, Professor E. Srinivasan, for all the support and encouragement and guidance and good wishes too that we have received in different ways. All other deans, directors, heads of departments, faculty colleagues, members of the staff have always been very supportive in all the activities of the club. The immense facilitation that is made for the smooth conduct of all programs is something that strengthens us continuously. One of the greatest sources of strength for this club is the legacy that is fondly nurtured, the legacy that has been created and carried on for years with the continued and unconditional support and encouragement from alumni spread across in different parts of the globe. Words fail to articulate the emotions that run through me when I acknowledge the contributions of all those who have laid a very strong foundation for the club and has carried the tradition forward. This year's play, directed by Hina, Taha, and Rashid, has proven that given the opportunity, desire, passion, and determination can bring out the best in young talents. A big round of applause for the entire cast and production team of School. Special mention has to be made about the set done by Monsieur Lucian and his team, the decoration team with Shabri and Jivesh, technical team with Bharat, the executive members Gautam, Gayatri, Nishandi, the Srirams, Shankar, Hari, and all have spent sleepless nights to get things in place. All this was possible with the exemplary leadership skills of the president and the secretaries of the Literary Club, President Mr. Navnu Sherwani and the secretaries Mr. Rahul and Melvino. They have all displayed selfless commitment and extended unconditional love and support, ensuring that all the activities went on smooth and culminated in the events today. Another beautiful part of the Literary Club is the magazine aptly titled Expressions. The editorial team of Najmu, Rahul, and Tarun, with the timely help received from the alumnus Ram Vignesh, have ensured meticulous finesse in compiling the varied expressions of alumni and the students. I'm sure that everyone involved with the club, the relation with the club would have been a very valuable part of college experience. Increasing student willingness to talk, to share, to assume roles and take up responsibilities encourage us to facilitate all these activities by enhancing oratorical and written skills, encouraging lateral thinking, and sensitizing on issues social, political, and economical. I'm sure that the Literary Club can contribute in the years to come to the all-round well-being of our students. We celebrate differences of opinions, thoughts, and ideas, and through these differences, we try to create harmonious relationships that last forever. I end by once again reiterating, as I do every year, our pledge to have a heart that never hardens, a tempo that never tires, and a touch that never hurts. A heart that never hardens, a tempo that never tires, and a touch that never hurts. Thank you.
Thank you for giving a detailed report on the club, ma'am. Next, to address the gathering, I now call upon Dr. S. Kanmani, Dean Students, Professor, Department of Information Technology. Welcome. Very good afternoon. Respected Professor, VC in charge, Professor Sundaramurthy sir. Respected Professor, Professor E. Srinivasan, Dean, Alumni and International Collaboration, beloved Professor Shanti Salman ma'am, convener of Literary Club, distinguished alumni, Mr. Arun and Mr. Sudhir of batch 1993 passed out, and faculty members, supporting staff, and my dear students. Very good afternoon. So today we have the flagship program of Literary Club, which is Curioso, and we had this stage play performance by the students. So it was a flawless performance by the students. They did extremely well, and it was simply superb and very nice. So this play is being conducted every year, and every year we witness and see that the play was very good. And as usual, this year also it was very nice. So this literary club has been started 30 years back, and it has successfully been run for 30 years, and it is entering into 31st. And this has been embraced by the two special guests of the alumni batch 1993, Mr. Arun and Mr. Sudhir, who had been in the founder team of this literary club. So this successful 30 years of journey has been taken shoulder by the English department and the members of English department, also by the alumni and the students chain. So by through whom they were able to attain to a level of modeling this club. So this club has not only the activities just to award the talents, and they have taken up a number of training and coaching programs. One day when I visited Madam's room for some purpose, she asked me to give a gift of a book to a student who was awarded as the student of this week. So she is conducting a small, making the students learn and with interest the English or the related things. So through which she make the students, learn the language and be part of this club and make their personality improved. And I wholeheartedly congratulate all the members of this literary club and the students and the alumni team who made this being successful. And I wish grand success for the future years to come. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you for those inspiring words, ma'am. Next, we have Professor E. Srinivasan, Dean, Alumni and International Collaborations. Sir, please address the gathering.
Good evening to all of you. Very nice meeting all of you. Professor Sundaramurthy, Vice Chancellor in charge, Professor Kanmani, Dean Students, Professor Shanti Simon, Mr. Sudhir, one of the finest alumni to graduate from the Department of EC in the year 1993. Another finest alumnus, Mr. Arun Ramanathan, to graduate from the Department of the Computer Science and Engineering Department in the year 1993. Happy to have both of you here. We are extremely happy for you. Thank you very much. Then, office bearers of Literary Club, deans and directors, heads of the departments, learned faculty members, students, and then ladies and gentlemen, I'm extremely privileged to be here in your midst this afternoon as part of this momentous day, the day of the literary club. Amazing. Always, every year, I eagerly look forward to this day, watching the play proceedings. As usual, it was extremely heartening to watch the complete presentation. Wow, it was an amazing presentation. Indeed, I wanted to laugh out completely, but then it was also emotional. I really thoroughly enjoyed the play. It was professional, man. Amazing, absolutely amazing. Amazing. Wonderful. You are one. You have won all the hearts that were here. Absolutely amazing. Keep going. I think you have set a new benchmark for your juniors. I think shivers must be running through their spine. How do we go ahead of them. That's really fantastic. Thank you very much for such a wonderful treat. Keep doing this beautiful work. And then next one, the editorial theme of the expressions. That's an amazing one. Every year they bring out that uh, magazine. This year, thanks to the waning pandemic, they have brought it offline, and that's something which we look forward to every year for reading and reflection. Congratulations to the members of the editorial team for bringing out this year's edition. Thank you very much. I appreciate all of you for that. And then we have students waiting here to receive the awards and prizes for all their contests they have won. Uh, Congratulations to all of you who have won and who are going to come here and take the prizes away. But my heart goes out to all the participants of the contest. That's very important. I'm making an important statement here. The participation is pretty key. It's a very vital aspect for shaping up your personality. More than win. Winning comes, the winning in fact places the pressure. Participation is pretty much key, and that's a vital aspect of personality, because you shut out your fear of failure. You are announcing the world, I don't have a fear of failure, and that's very important for you to succeed in our life. The participation tells you what you are and what you are not, what you know, what you do not know. What you are is pretty fine, that's your strength. What you know is pretty fine, that's your strength. But what you do not know, what you are not, that provides opportunities for newer learning. And Literary Club provides that kind of a platform, offering wonderful opportunities for you to compete, learn, and evolve. And as Shanti Shaman said, it provides a democratic space. Even in your own departments, you may not have unlimited democracy and freedom to express what you feel. But Literary Club and the Department of English is one space where you can fight ruthlessly, of course, not violently, right? But then yet, you can smile and go away. That's one space which is available for you. Come and participate. Encourage your classmates also to participate. I have seen a couple of students who are very diffident when they started here, their education here, but when they graduated, they were very mature, going through the activities of the literary club. I really enjoy journeying with the literary club and its activities. Thanks to Dr. Shanti Simon for keeping up this spirit alive. And then we have two alumni. I'm really, amazingly happy. Sudhir is a person whom I have taught in the early 90s. He joined us in the year 1989. Those days, number of seats were pretty few in PEC. Getting a seat in Puducherry Engineering College was a tough and challenging proposition. He got into this one. Of course, he always occupied the first bench, but most of the times he used to sleep. But if you ask a question, he always had the right answer. Very brilliant boy, one of the finest minds, one of the most brilliant minds I've come across over the last 30 years of life. I'm not telling this just because he's seated here, because he's like my son. He's a small kid like my son. So I don't have to, like a flatter. He's one of the most brilliant minds I've come across over the last 30 years of the career. From here, he went to IIM Lucknow. From here, he went to IIM Lucknow, and thereafter, he occupied pretty top positions in some of the finest corporates. Presently, he works as a global head, managing the risk and compliance portfolio for the microland. Amazing. Like, you want to listen to Shahrukh Khan, possibly you have to listen to Sudhir. I know you will be reminded of Shahrukh Khan when he listens to him. Amazing, like he's a born talent and a natural speaker. Thank you. Looking forward to listen to him. Of course, you will also be. And we have Arun Ramanathan. I have not taught him, but certainly I do remember his face. I'm able to figure out his face, because those days number of students were less on the campus, so we were able to remember even though we did not teach those students. He looks pretty saintly, doesn't he? He looks pretty saintly and sounds wiser. And thank you very much, Arun, for being with us. Absolutely amazing. And I'm sure you can't wait anymore to listening to them. It's time for you to listen to them. The very fact that they are here must be inspiring to you. They were like you a couple of decades ago, occupying the seats like you, but today, look at the kind of positions they are occupying. They try to convey a message that you too can do that well. You too can do that well. Suddenly, 20 years down the line, somebody like me would be talking about some of you here, Looking forward to see that one. Thank you very much. Bye for now, and thank you for the opportunity. Thank you so much. Wishing you all the best.
Thank you, sir, for your appreciation and kind words. The beauty of humanity is to share and air our expressions. The idea of sharing thoughts creates an intimate bond, a bond that transcends all differences and reconciles the soul that yearns for expression. I now invite Tarun John Sherry, member of the editorial team of Expressions, to give a brief description about our magazine.
So, good afternoon to everyone present here. If you ever had thoughts which you felt needed to be brought out, words strung together beautifully, which you felt should be showcased, we, the Literary Club of PTU, have a platform for you to present it on. Our annual magazine, aptly named Expressions. In the magazine, we have articles from students, which range from tales spun by the thread of imagination and takes on various facets of life, like college experiences. We have poems which inspire us, remind us to cherish our life, and fill our hearts. We also have students showcasing their beautiful artwork here. The magazine also includes articles from alumni of over 25 years who are eager to share their thoughts here. This shows how deep of an impact we have here, being a part of the literary club of our college. It is not a bond broken very easily. We have worked hard to bring out this year's edition, carefully curating the entries received and presenting it to you in an appealing format. After the transition to university status, this comes out as the first expressions magazine of PTU. We hope you enjoy our expressions through shown in the magazine. Thank you.
Thank you, Tarun. Now it's time to release our magazine. I humbly request the dignitaries to release the magazine.
Honorable dignitaries and most valued student friends, I take immense pleasure in introducing our guest of honor for today's ceremony. We are indeed privileged to have two eminent individuals here who have contributed enormously to the society and its well-being. Firstly, we have Mr. Sudhir C. He did his post-graduation from PEC and went on to pursue his post-graduation in management from IIM Lucknow. He has over 27 years of overall experience with 16 plus years in the risk and complaints management function. Sudhir is currently the Vice President and Global Head of Risk and Compliance at Microland Limited, responsible for enterprise risk management that includes operational risk management, regulatory and contractual compliance, information security, data privacy, business continuity, crisis management, and ESG. In addition,
Thanks, Dr. Chairman, for
it's I mean, it's such a wonderful feeling to be back here. So dignitaries off stage, and my dear friends. I mean, uh, I'm doubly glad that I could make it. It's my honor, my privilege, my joy to be out here with you all. Uh, for starters, it takes me back 30 years, uh, 30 years back, and especially when I went for a few minutes backstage, it brought back all those memories of what we used to do backstage. And so I feel 30 years younger today. So that's the first takeaway for me. The uh, the second is, it was a small child we nurtured, a baby, and to see how it has grown. We had probably around 5 or 6 events, and we found it difficult to get participants for all of them. So that was the same those days. And now we have probably across all the kinds of events, you have 20 plus activities. Amazing. The, the enthusiasm, the quality of the performance that I saw here today, hats off. And I mean, it just it felt so good. And you can't imagine the kind of feeling we had. And I'm sure Arun will share those as well. So uh, I'm not so much of the speaker kinds. I leave a lot of the speaking to the Toastmaster. So I'll just probably talk about the initial days for those of you who are unaware of how it all started. How it all started in a single room. Uh, so it was somewhere around maybe July. We just come back to campus as in the third year, and we were, uh, myself and Arun were discussing on our way from one hostel to the other, and we're talking about what we wanted to do. Of course, there were some kind of cultural and literary activities as part of PICOFES or as part of some college day functions and all of that. But they were, sort of once in a year event. We wanted something that's ongoing, that uh, people could participate, people could organize, and uh, uh, we're thinking about how to go about doing that. And there were quite a few like-minded guys, but everyone saying, okay, yeah, maybe yes, maybe no, maybe it will work, maybe it won't. So we said, okay, let's start small. Let's start with what's in our control, what's in our influence, and that's where we started it in the first quiz. So we said let's start with a quiz, a weekly quiz followed by a debate on some topic under the sun. And we had some great senior batch, a lot of people in our batch, and some very enterprising MCA students. Uh, I don't want to call out names for fear of missing out on some of them, but suffice it to say that all of them who participated in the first few weeks, first few months of the Lit Club are today extremely successful in what they're doing. And I don't want to draw correlations, but I'm sure this has helped them achieve what they have done today, where they are today. So, uh, so I remember for the first quiz, there were 6 participants. So I was a quiz master, and there were 6 participants. So we felt, oh, 6 is too less a quorum to have teams. So each person was a team by themselves. So that is how the first quiz went. And then, slowly we got the first years at that time into this. We said, you have no option but to come and attend it. You can choose to participate or you can choose to listen, but you need to be there. So being seniors, we were able to influence that. So they, they came in and of course, there was one cardinal rule: everyone has to bring their own chair and take it back after they go. Because there weren't enough chairs in the room to sit it. And we felt, after 3 or 4 weeks, there were enough numbers that the hostel room couldn't take. We went from there to the common room of the hostel, and then we thought it's now narrowed to just the gents hostel, right? And which is a minuscule part of the overall college, the overall community. So how do we take it forward? So we said, to start with, let's engage people from the ladies hostel as well. So now, where do you find a place to do that? We can't go to their hostel, they can't come to our hostel. So we had to go to the warden. Then I think it was T.S. Balasubramanian, HOD of MEC. I didn't cause that. So, well, the very name TSB evoked this response. So he he was someone, you know. So he was someone, we felt was better staying away from than trying to ask him for some space where we could conduct this event. But nevertheless, a few of us gathered some courage, went to him, said that this is what we have in mind. So can we do something about it? He said, no, not in the classroom, not during class hours, not during these days, all of that. And then finally we got some time, I think it was Saturday afternoon or something like that, where we could do it. And now the problem was the venue. So we were looking at having it in the, that shed there, in the mechanical thing, which used to also host the badminton court and our back office events in those days. We never had such a grand auditorium, so good to see that the college has grown and there's a lot more infrastructure out here. So we want to do something out there. He said, no, nothing doing, we can't have it there. So then we thought about a place which is called the Student Amenities Center, in those days, SAC. Today, I believe it is an incubation center, if I'm not mistaken. And very glad to see that it's now the incubation center, because it was the center where the Lit Club was incubated. So good to see that it carries on that heritage of incubating new ideas and new thoughts. So that's where we had the first literary club event outside of the hostels, where there was participation from the fairer sex as well. So from there, it so in the early 90s, we did participate in a few intercollegiate events, right? Whether it is Spandan in Chitma or some other engineering college hosting some intercollegiate event. We didn't go and participate in those. But for most of the time, we were part of the, mm, though we tried to participate, but after the first round, we were part of the audience, right? So uh, this, but once the literary club started, once we started doing serious quizzing, once we started doing serious dumb charades and debates, and what's a good word, and Tintoretto and jam, and lots of those kind of activities, it gave us that confidence. It gives us a confidence that we can do what the others are doing. And of course, Arun will talk a lot on how we uh, took this to the outside world. Yeah. So that was one of the early hurdles that we overcame. But I remember in those days, so we said, can we have the keys to the sack? Because the keys used to be at the main gate here. Sorry, which way? This way. So the main gate out there. And we used to be in the gents hostel, a bit of a distance from there, right? No bikes in those days, so we used to, jog. There was one cycle amongst all of us in that hostel. So, so we need to come here, pick up the keys, and go to SAC to get open so that we could have our events. And like clockwork, it happened week on week at the right hour every single time. There was a kind of passion the group had to make something happen. And I think it's not about whether you won this quiz, whether you won some other event, or you did well in a debate, like Dr. Srinivasan is saying, it is about participating. It's about being part of wanting to create something new, and that is what I've carried away from the Lit Club. Not as much as the number of quizzes I've won or dumb charades or whatever else I did in those days. It is about creating something. It's about being able to face any new challenge, right? And I sort of relate it to what's happened in my work later. So there was this, I was working for a firm called Amitabh Bachchan Corporation Limited, ABCL, which was hosting the Miss World pageant in 1996. And this was soon after I got out of B school. And, uh, you know, it was a new event. We hadn't done anything of that scale in India, so, and we are called upon to have it in a city. We preferred to have it in Mumbai, but there were compulsions. We had it in Bangalore, and so we were part of the organizing committee. Said, "Can you do this?" We said, "Yes." Why? It's not because I knew anything about organizing an event of that magnitude. It's because I felt that I can take up that challenge. Where did that feeling come from? From the successes that I had in college out here. So that is one. There are many such instances. There was another instance when and that's how I turned into a risk and compliance professional. So I was in G Capital, and I was doing something in quality and lean, and I had interviewed with Wipro for a position in the quality department, as a lean coach kind of stuff. And before I could join, my hiring manager, we happened to meet up, and he said, uh, "See, I've been tasked with creating a risk and compliance function. Yeah, so you have an option of going and continuing with your quality journey, and taking over the role that you were you had interviewed for, or you could join me in creating this risk and compliance function." This was way back in 2005, and so he asked me, what would you prefer? My immediate response to him was the risk and compliance function. So then he said, "Why?" And my answer was, "Because I haven't done it before." As simple as that. It gave me the courage to take on new challenges, to do something else. And it's now 16, 17 years, and I've been growing in this risk and compliance space, one of the early guys in the space. And, you know, uh, it throws up a new challenge every day, a new risk. Ukraine happens, there's a risk to your business. Some forex fluctuations happen, there is a risk to your business. Some COVID happens, there is a continuity risk to your business. So it throws up a new challenge every day, and I'm confident, because of all of this that has happened in the past, that I can take up any challenge that comes at me. And that is the essence that I would want to portray out here. It's about participating, it's about organizing, it's about you know coming together for a cause, and those are learnings that you take away when you join something like the Lit Club. It it turns an introvert into an extrovert. It turns someone who's scared of coming on stage to speak to to talk about their experiences eloquently. So that is the kind of takeaway something like this gives you. This platform gives you. And I would like to take questions, but probably I'll hand over to Arun. He can talk about how we took it from there, what next, the intercollegiate stuff, and things like that. Before we have a video from someone else, part of the same initial members group, who's today in the US, and he sent across a video message for this group, so we'll play that as well. And it's more of how he saw this whole movement. I would say it's not just an event or a club; it's a movement. Right? So how he saw it, and I would like to interact with as many of you on any topic under the sun. Thank you. I'll hand it over to Arun to take it on from here, and we'll definitely converse after that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your intriguing words. The next guest of honor we have is a notable alumni of our college. Mr. Arun Ramaratnam is an IT professional with nearly 3 decades of experience. He has played numerous key roles in technology and business management roles at leading organizations like Tata, Unisys, Tata Infotech, Mahindra Satyam, and Tech Mahindra. In his former stint, he was a vice president managing P&L and end-to-end delivery responsibility for a business group in Australia. Mr. Arun was recognized with the commendation for playing one of the key roles in the turnaround of Mahindra Satyam by the leadership in 2019. Mr. Arun has served as Asia's second largest chapter of the Project Management Institute in various capacities, including Vice President for 4 years. Sir, address the gathering, please.
Respected teachers and dignitaries in the dais, members of the literary club, ma'am, dignitaries off stage, and my dear young students, good afternoon. Come on, guys, you're the future of the country and the world. A louder good afternoon, please. That's better. That's like PTU now. It was PEC when I was here. I will tell you that it is incredibly a magical feeling for Sudhir and I here to be here, co-conspirators in crime, if you will, because we actually plotted to see how to get this literary club take off. And it was, like I said, on a nice walk late in the evening after dinner down this lonely alleys of PEC, which we used to really love. And it's great to be home. Believe me, after 30 years. It came in a bit 5 years back, but this auditorium and getting to speak here is just magical. I think most of you here, and I know there's a bit of the audience here, I'll look at you as well. I suspect a good amount of you were not born when we were plotting that activity. That was 30 years back, so I'm sure most of you were not born then. Perhaps your parents didn't even think of you then, right? So that's how it was. But it's really nice to see that over time, that like a relay race, this whole thing is magically moved from year to year, year to year, and under the stewardship of someone so passionate like ma'am here, who shocked us when she told us that she's been part of this from 2001. Please give a big round of applause to the lady. And Sudhir and I are here because she somehow discovered us through the wilderness of the internet. She knocked at so many doors and discovered us, and we were supposed to be here earlier, but we disappointed here a year back. But it's lovely to be here. We can't express in words the delight that we have. We almost feel like we are parents here because it was 30 years back. When we see those little flowers bloom on stage today, the 10 of you, set the stage on fire with your passion, your acting. And I'm so delighted that it was recorded on YouTube and streamed live. I'm going to get my daughter to see that. I'm going to get as many people to see it. And trust me, people are going to ask you guys to do more plays. Now, for those of you wondering, I want to show of hands. How many of you are actually members of the literary club? Actively? Go at least once a month? Okay. Okay, come on. It's okay if you lie a bit. I used to do that in college. Alright. Okay. And how many of you don't know why you're here? Okay. That's good. I love those guys, right? I was the same like you, right? Naughty, innocent, not knowing what to expect from the world when I was on campus, distracted by every other thing that was possible. But there was one thing that was very, very important in us at that time. Our batch of folks had some deep-rooted desire to do something. We didn't know what. That's probably what manifested. In addition to academics, we wanted to do many things. There was Stick McKay, there was the literary club, there were a host of other things. And I can tell you confidently, having done the journey for 30 years, academics is important, otherwise these people never invite me. That's a joke, they're supposed to laugh, right? Okay. But the reality is that academics teaches you to think, to specialize in a certain field in which you as an individual can add value and further the research or the business in that particular field. But what the literary club teaches you is to be able to tackle every single hurdle, every bend, every challenge that's thrown your way, dealing with human beings, building confidence about yourself, trying hard to get that young man's attention in that white shirt, right? These are all the challenges that come your way when you grow up in your life. So when things happen that way, you don't realize that the time spent on the literary club was not for all those lofty goals to be a great leader. If you ask Sudhir, when he was speaking today, I was shooting pictures with nostalgia. I was remembering the Sudhir walking down the cafeteria with a glass of milk in hand and shouting all kinds of things, and now he's global head of compliance, right? So for me, that's a huge jump. Now, guess what? For all those of you here, 30 years down, you're going to be the global risk officers. You're going to be the guys that propel India to be that superpower. And if you're not yet feeling that, if you're not feeling that in you, and if you're not seeing these people on stage being that catalyst to make you bloom, to make you that champion that's going to make India what it is, start believing now. In 25 years, India is going to be what it is, and you people are actually going to be the catalyst of that global superpower. So please, if there's one message I'd like to leave with you, don't be afraid to dream. The problem with a lot of young Indians is we are afraid to dream, right? That is the biggest problem. How many of you have the big dreams here? Okay, the guy in the black shirt, what's your dream? Behind the lady, he just turned his head back. Yeah, what's your dream? You're the one with the specs. What's your dream? You stood up. Please tell me what's your dream. Okay, both of you can tell me. Go ahead. Okay, entrepreneur. What about this gentleman? Yeah, go ahead. Come on.
Institute which serves better education.
Ah, I see. The lofty one. Okay, great. So what's very important is each of you needs to dream. And what is important is if you don't have a dream, you're not going to get anywhere. Dream big and back it with all the passion that you can. Like Sir had today, Mr. Srinivasan, when he spoke here on stage, I was just thinking, how does he pump so much energy when he speaks? Right? When you pack yourself with that energy, you guys will go wherever you want to go, right? So I'll just take a couple of minutes to share a few things to supplement what Sudhir shared. When we started the club, we were not so fortunate like you. We didn't have an auditorium. Our college didn't have a name at that time. It was just a new institution. And wherever we went outside, so I was one of the people who started going outside to compete in literary events. We had first to explain where we came from and what the college was. Whereas if a PSG would come, they would know who they were. So we were part of that initial crowd that actually had to go and build the brand of what the college was. And that was interesting yet challenging. And that is a challenge that you young people don't have today because you're already a technology university now, and everybody has heard of PET, right? PTU now. So when you go out into the big world, Like for example, when Sudhir was introduced today, nobody needs introduction to IML, right? Everybody knows that. So likewise, PC is very well known, PTU is very well known today to many people. So please take advantage of that and take that as a launching pad to propel yourself to your dreams, to what you want to do. Because if you do not dream, you don't have things knocking at your door. So that's something I'd like to leave with you. We did the greatest moment that we had in the first 2 years of the literary club was when we actually went as a team and raided REC Trichy. And I'm going to have one of my classmates, Yashwant Chauhan, speak about it. I'll tell you a bit about him. It's a wonderful story for you to hear about what Yashwant did. We also went and raided JIPMA. JIPMA still has the annual cultural festivals where they call all the best medical colleges across the country and a few local colleges, and we were one of them. They innocently invited us. First year, we didn't know what happened. The next year, we shook that place. We beat 32 colleges in Damsharaj. And I'm proud to say that my compatriot in crime was here, and there was another gentleman by the name Tata Rao. So we actually went and stole that event. We won it. And then JIPMA started taking us seriously because here was an engineering college somewhere in the corner. They suddenly came and stormed the citadel. That's really what happened. The same thing happened at REC Trichy. We came second across so many colleges that came from all across the country. And then everybody started inviting us to every event. They wanted us to be there. That meant that the event was a good one. So that's how it was. So that's something I thought I would share with all of you. And with that, I'd like to share with you a very important thing, that the story of my classmate, he's a big guy now, okay? He's vice president at a company called Thales. He was one of us. In fact, he was one of the less interested ones in class. Teachers used to be worried about him, that professors would say, why is this guy not in class? His grades weren't so great. But he's one of the best minds you can find in America today who does sales and marketing for a fantastic company like Thales. I want you to hear his story, and we took the pains to record this for you, hoping that his story will motivate some of you to dream big. Right? Can I have Yashwant's story, please? Please pay attention. These 2 minutes could change your life. Yeah? In today's day and age, I know it's very hard to pay attention.
Hello, viewers.
Wait, we need to be louder. We need to be louder. It's not live, it's a recording. No, we'll have to play it back.
Hello, viewers and PC fraternity. This is Yashwant from the MCA batch of 1993 and proud Lit Club alumni of 1992. Here is one event. It's deep in my memory. It's still like yesterday. Together with Arun, who's with you there, we were selected to represent PC in the All India MCA meet in 1992, held at Trichy REC. And there were 125 colleges and many events ranging from technical software coding competitions to debates and quizzes. I did participate in the quizzing event. It began with the written qualification round. 30 colleges were selected of the 125. And after 2 days of some intense quizzing, there was the finals. With 6 engineering colleges selected, BEC was on the map as we made it to the finals. In the finals, with a big audience and very reputed institutes, we were very nervous. And the first 2 rounds were a setback as we could not answer any question. And from round 3, our luck changed. For the next 3 rounds, we answered every question. And by the end of the 6th round, Arun was keeping good watch on the scores as well. Whispered in my ear, we have won. It sure was a thrilling breakthrough in our lives. And it was only after we returned back to our PC hostel and after many congratulations did the feeling sink in that we had won for the college its first big trophy, a first big win for the Lit Club as well.
And to me, this was much beyond academic success. This landmark was a breaking ground in my career. The skills acquired in the sheer engagement with the Lit Club made me so well rounded. Till date, I have confidently attended interviews, and after a span of 30 years, I also recruit talent for my organization and look out for leadership activities beyond academic brilliance. This has been a good measure for selecting suitable talent. I thank the Lit Club members and PEC fraternity to keep this flag flying. And I wish you all lots of success in all your endeavors in life. Best wishes.
So that was Yashwant sharing his experience about the first big win this literary club had. Now I've asked him to record one more little video. In this video, I told him, now that you're vice president at Thales in America, and why is that special, right? There are a lot of Indians who actually do very well in technology and product management. You've heard people like Sundar Pichai and all. It's very hard for a person with an Indian pedigree to actually head sales in a cross-functional team in America. And I have handled sales teams in Australia and the rest, but it's very hard to own it end to end. And this was a young, unassuming, bike riding young person on campus. And dare I say, he even plugged a few semesters. But that was not the point. The guy was so talented that he set his whole career on Storm. Now, what I want you to hear is the next 3 minutes where he shares how the literary club actually shaped his life. Right? So let's play that. So going ahead in life 30 years down is not just your academics, but how you develop your overall faculties. But academics is important too.
Hello viewers, PEC fraternity, Lit Club members, and my friends out there. Greetings from Austin, Texas in the USA. I'm very happy to be part of this 30th anniversary of the Lit Club. Many thanks to my batchmates, Arun and Sudeep, for giving me this opportunity to share a few words. By way of introduction, I belong to the MCA batch of 1993, and being a Pondicherrian, was a born introvert, where Madras used to be the other end of the world for us. Our exposure was very limited. But I was very fond of sports, reading and music. PEC hostel, where I spent a good amount of my time, was a great place to share ideas and opinions. I do remember when the Lit Club started, and how Arun and Sudhir and few others were pulling the hostel mates to come out in the open and jump into this melting pot. There were many events, from quizzing to Dumsy, jam sessions and storytelling. Pretty soon, what hit me was the energy and enthusiasm in the club. It was a compelling spirit, and I would come back and get refreshed every Saturday. I never knew I could quiz, and I soon did represent the college in many quizzing events, and we also won many laurels. Today I'm very proud and happy to say where I am, and in my journey I owe a lot to the Lit Club and have lifelong friends from this association. If I do reflect, a few takeaways here. The club helped break barriers between the different groups in the college. Personally, it took me out of my cocoon, made me realize the importance of sharing knowledge, made me aware of my strengths, and I realized I need to play with them. MCA candidates were prime targets for being software coders, and I was not the brightest and best. But I did decide to choose a different career oriented towards marketing and sales. And this decision has been very rewarding for me. I owe a Lit Club a lot for this decision. Lastly, you don't join the club to win or be popular. I have witnessed this. Even if you cannot participate in activities, the very act of engaging builds a sense of service and improves organizational skills. This is something one will carry for life. I leave you all with a very happy note. This has been a great platform to connect and realize one's true potentials. Wishing you all lots of success and may the spirit of Lit Club live forever. A big thank you, friends. One day I would like to come and conduct a quiz session. It will happen soon, and I wish you good luck in all aspects of your life. Best wishes. Thank you.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the smartest minds of our batch. There are a few other very smart people like the other one on stage. So let's give a big round of applause for the guy who we called last night, rather when we were driving, and we told him, please record this for us. He had a very busy day at work. He heads all of North America sales. And he sat for an hour to record this for you guys, and he finished at 1 o'clock his time. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a professional that he is. He wanted to share, and he's already made a commitment to come here when he comes next. His home is in Puducherry. He will come and run a quiz for the little club. Are you all up for it? Come on, no energy, huh? What will you do when you're 30 years older like me? I seem to be younger than all of you, huh? All right. So with that, I think I don't want to bore you all. I know you're waiting for your prizes. If there are any questions that you are curious to ask, you're welcome to ask. Sudhir or I, you want to come over here? Yeah. Any questions that you have? Uh, what it means to be 30 years down? Well, I'm younger than all of you. I'm 18 till I die. I don't know about all of you. After meeting you all, I become 15, 3 years younger today. What about the rest of you? Any questions at all? Don't be the usual PEC guys. I came here 5 years back. I asked what questions, and one of the staff had to ask a question. If you want to conquer the world, shed your inhibition. There is no stupid question. Ask now. And it's not often that people who have done 30 years ahead in life come and are willing to answer any questions that you have in your head. Right? That's good. Yeah, go ahead. We may not have all the answers, but we'll try. Great.
So, what's your biggest fear?
Oh, yeah, please. There's an important announcement. We'll answer your
We have got an announcement. Two buses are arranged outside the auditorium. The buses will leave only after the function. Okay, you can stay here and you can attend the function and you can then leave. Thank you.
Never miss the bus of life. Okay. All right.
Yeah, my biggest fear, if I would say, is not doing something. Okay. Missing the bus, as you said. Right? I really don't regret what I have done. But if there are any regrets, it's about what I have not done. Right? So if if you think it's out there, go ahead, grab it, chase it, go for it. And not doing it, is a fear of missing out.
My biggest fear is the worry that my experience someday may make me complacent, that I'd stop learning. So I keep reminding myself that unless you learn, you stagnate. And that's also something Professor echoed when he spoke to us one-to-one. So that's my biggest fear, to always stay agile to learn. I thought it'd be a big queue of people. Are you all shy to succeed in life? Yeah, the gentleman there. Go ahead.
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, I can put this off and respond.
Say it loudly. I can hear you.
Sounds good. Thank you for sharing your experiences, sir. I would like to ask you, how will you define success and happiness according to you?
Okay, great. This is like a quiz club, right? It's Jam who presses the buzzer first. That's mine now. Okay.
So I press the buzzer
For me. All right. Okay. Success and failure, did you say?
Success and happiness, sir.
No, no. Did you say success and failure? How do I define both?
Success and happiness.
Success and happiness. Yeah. Great. Happiness is very easy. I think many people who are a little older will agree with me. Happiness for me is to see the joy of my daughter grow, and with the hope that she will take that baton I've brought so far with passion and set it on fire 3 times than what I would do. That's my sense of happiness. As far as success is concerned, it has changed over the years, right? When I was sitting like you, success was getting a job, right? That was in the last year. In the second year, it was starting the literary club. After that, it was winning prizes and cash prizes. But today, after 30 years, for me, success would be if I can inspire 30 minds in this room to think that they can change India by the fire in their belly, that would be my definition of success. Thank you.
For me, they are not very different. Success and happiness go hand in hand, right? For me, success is what makes you happy, makes you have a good night's sleep, makes you want to wake up and do something, right? It is, it is what fuels you, and uh, it's not, it's not the paycheck that comes at the end of the month. It's not, uh, you know, the luxury goods that you own. It, it really is. Do I like doing what I'm doing today? Like I keep saying, when work becomes work, it's time to move on to something else, right? So, as long as you enjoy your work, as long as you give all you have to the task on hand, I think that defines success for me. If I think I am not doing so, I think I am not successful. So,
Okay, I'm not going to say that we're running out of time, but we'll take a few questions, but only rapid fire answers with just 10 seconds on the clock. Okay? Like quiz. Anybody has quick questions? Just 10-second answers. Yeah, go ahead, the young man there.
What was your dream before 30 years and what is your dream now?
Oh, mine was simple. To be a CEO and to own an island when I was 30 years back. Right now, like I said, if I can inspire 30 people to do something for the country, I'll die happily. Yeah.
I'll take the next one. Yeah. Take turns.
Yeah, your speech was very inspiring, sir. I thought you were some random dudes who are from 30 years ago and they are going to give some.
We are random dudes. Yeah, there's no change to that.
Yeah, that's the relation. But I thought you will be giving some boring, like most of this did like most of my experience was like that. And after listening to your speech, I thought I could be like I could be in this stage after few years as an alumni.
Absolutely.
And
Faster than us.
yeah,
In 15 years time.
yes, sir. I'll try to. But like I don't have a slightest idea how to address this larger crowd. I didn't thought this much people would show up today. And like, did you prepare something to talk to us or something? And is
Yeah,
there
so
something? Yeah.
I took some notes, some key things on. So yeah, one thing we decided on the way here, we came in the same car. So so one thing we decided is that you know we'll talk different things. Okay, and I said please, yeah. There were 10 questions in that. So,
10 into 10 is
so, so, so that's one, right? So we just sort of demarcated what we would speak. The rest of it, I took some notes when the play was going on. I was seeing what was happening. I saw the kind of enthusiasm, and I said, okay, this is what fueled us so many years back, and I was glad to see the same thing. That's about it. I wanted it to, just flow from our heart. Just talk about what we experienced. Just trying to see if it can make a difference to you. Yeah. So I was trying to put myself in your shoes and see what is it that you would like to know. What is it that you would like to take away, right? listening to someone is one thing, and as I was talking to Dr. E.S. some time back, that you know, there's a lot that we learned in his classes, right? I hardly use any of it today actively in my job, right? I did engineering, and then I went out to do, marketing and finance, and I actually do risk and compliance today for a living, right? So, uh, but what I took away from his classes was the passion, right? That has rubbed off on me. If I can stand here, talk passionately, talk about what I like, talk about what means something to you, then I think I've done a good job. That's the only thing that I came here trying to talk to. No other purpose.
Okay, I'm feeling that anxious pilot was to land the plane. So we're closing here because we're woefully out of time. But I just wanted to know that Sudhir and I are available in town and after this event today and tomorrow and even Sunday morning. If any of you want to meet us off stage. We'll be very happy to catch up with you. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring session. I now call upon Dr. S. Sundaramurthy, who has been the founding HOD for the Department of Chemical Engineering. He had been the Dean of Academics for 8 years, and his contribution in several academics works had helped Puducherry Engineering College in its transition to Puducherry Technological University. I humbly request you to give the presidential address.
Yeah, after listening to such inspiring speeches, I understand what a precarious position I am in as a last speaker. And it is supposed to be the presidential address. Yeah, very good afternoon. I think I know it's good evening. Mr. Sudhir and Mr. Arun, I'm very happy that the organizers have made sure that you're here. I think it is, yeah, it's a great thought on the part of the organizers to have you here. I mean, the people who were responsible for starting this lit club. So I'm very happy, and I'm very happy to be part of this. And it was nice talking to you, although it was very brief. So thank you for being here. The deans, Dr. E.S. He's a great orator. I think it's very difficult to speak after he speaks. And Kanmani Madam, Shivaraj is not here. The office bearers of Lit Club and Dr. Shanti Simon, my good friend, convener of Lit Club. Once again, a very good evening to all of you. And I never thought till yesterday evening that I would be standing before you. It was an unexpected call. As Professor Mohan, as the Vice Chancellor, Mr. Mohan is on leave, and sort of I have to get into his shoes, which I know is too large for me. And in some sense, as I think some questions were asked, I think whether you came with a plan about a speech. Actually, I wasn't really sure. I think you asked. But I think all the so-called extempores, it's known fact that you think it's an extempore, but there is a preparation, a lot of preparation went behind that. Um, First of all, I would like to congratulate, my hearty congratulations to the Lit Club for organizing such a wonderful program and many such programs in the past under the guidance and leadership of Dr. Shanti Simon, a wonderful teacher, a wonderful person. I have known Dr. Shanti Simon for a very long time as a wonderful teacher who is passionate about igniting the young minds and grooming them to be personalities with character. That's Shanti Simon. And I know that she has contributed in many ways uh, to the students' community here. I think uh, she has been responsible for helping the students to sharpen their communication skills and get good placements. So thank you, Shanti Simon, for this. I know you're doing a great job. Please continue to do it. And I think I'll try to make it short. I don't know what to say, but I have been officiating as Dean Academics for 7.5 years, and I've had a number of occasions to speak with Shanti Simon about many things. I think I had hours and hours of discussions. One thing, I'm no more dean or anything. I've just put down all the portfolios and I've handed over the mantle to Dean Academics to Madam. Okay. One thing was that I was actually, as Dean Academics, I have had an opportunity to just go through the curriculum of, study the curriculum of many premier institutions across the country and across the world. And I've seen a lot of changes happening compared to what we study. Actually, in our time, the engineering education was more about solving problems. As engineers and scientists, we were trained to think that everything is measurable in the world. Everything is measurable, everything can be assigned a number, and we can fit these numbers into some kind of a model and make some predictions. That's how our training has been so far. Precisely to say that, but I, for one, believe that, I am sure that many of you will agree that everything cannot be measured. There are many things which cannot be measured. One simple thing, as a teacher, I think, is it possible to measure the nuances of teaching and give some numbers? I believe that is not possible. Is it possible to measure the depth of love that you have in your heart for somebody? Not possible. Is it possible to measure the passion you carry for something? So not possible. So there are many things in life that are not measurable, but unfortunately, we are trained to believe that everything is measurable in life. One reason is that our engineering education or the education of science and engineering has so far been tilted more towards the left of the brain, which is analytical. And the right half of the brain is more about love, compassion, art, and things like that. All of you know that. This is scientifically proved that the left half is more about analysis, and the right half is more about art, compassion, and things like that. And the left half has always been dominating over the right half. And they have been trained like this. Somebody asked a question about success. So we have been groomed right from our childhood that success is everything about life. Life is all about success. We want our child to be successful. We want, as teachers, our students to be successful. As an institution, we want to be in the ranking and we want to be a successful, great institution. Success, everything in life is about success, success, success. But believe me, however big you are, I'm sure they will agree with me, you only see the success, but have you seen the failures that have stepped up into success? For every one success, there would have been 10 failures. So, please don't think that I'm being pessimistic. At one point of time in your life, you are going to fall down. Please try to understand. I've seen, we have come across many CEOs, billionaires, CEOs, big top people in corporates, shoulder down one day. I have come across, and I'm sure many of you. So it's a kind of, it's going to happen to everyone. Please believe it or not. I am not trying to be pessimistic. Okay? It will happen to everyone. It has happened to, I'm sure, every one of them on the stage. So the question is, you are going to have a taste of failure at some point of time, whether you like it or not. And your left brain will say that, it will analyze and say, you are a failure, you are useless fellow. You are good for nothing. You have done this and this and this, and because of which you have failed. It is at that time, the right brain will come to rescue. It is full of love and compassion. It is humanities. And it will come to your rescue and say, come on fella, get up. You are good. You can get up, walk and run. So life is not about falling. Success is not about falling. Somebody asked a question. Success is about getting up and walking. Okay? Success is about getting, you will fall, the child will fall, but it has to get up and walk. It is a resilience to get up from the fall and walk. That is the education is all about. Okay? And that the education has to give you, and that only the right side of the brain can give you. It is the humanities which can give you. The literary club is all about that. Okay? So life is about balancing the right and the left. This is there in our philosophy, particularly the Eastern philosophy, the yin yang, right? The Chinese philosophy, yin yang, and we have the Ardhanarishvara, right? The Shiva and this one, that man and women. All of you know that men are leftists and women are rightists. Women is more about love, compassion, and men is more about analysis, money, success. And you have to balance between the two. Today, as the academics, I went through the curriculum. Now they're saying that engineering education, you should have more of humanities. Now they're saying across the globe, I've checked MIT, Stanford, everything. They're saying 40% of the credits, 30 to 40% of the credits start to be earned by doing humanities courses. Okay, and as Dean Academics, I've tried my best, and it is in that context that I used to have discussions with them. I used to say, like, how about, so now the activities of the literary club is extracurricular. Am I right? You have to bring it into the curriculum. That's all about it. I think I'm sure that the Dean is not here, Dean Academics, and I'm sure that now that we have become a university, I think we should focus more on that. I've tried my level best to do it. I used to have a lot of discussions with Shanti Simon about how to bring the humanities into this. In fact, I used to have a discussion. Madam, why don't we think about designing a curriculum, like, appreciation of art. Okay, why don't you have that? Appreciation of zero credit courses. Cinema. You should develop an appreciation for cinema. Today you talk about color, Kalabadi, and that's what you think cinema is. But cinema is more than that. I mean, you should have an appreciation for cinema. And I tell you, as in 70s and 80s, when I was a student, there was something called art film. I don't know how many of you know about that. There was a thing called art film. Adur Gopalakrishnan, Aravindan, Shyam Benegal. I think I had an opportunity to listen to Shyam Benegal, one of the finest things. I think we should have people like Shyam Benegal and all talking to you. I think your perception about life will change. I'm telling you. Your perception about cinema will change. I think that's important. That's humanities is all about. I've seen some of the wonderful pictures. I don't know how many of you will have the passions to watch this. In fact, I first happened to see the Adur Gopalakrishnan's Muga Muga. You must be doing that. You're from Kerala. But I didn't understand a bit of it. Muga Muga. Then I had a good friend of mine from Kerala. 2 years later, I discussed about that film. I said I didn't understand a bit of it. He was a voracious reader, and he said he analyzed the film. And then I happened to see it again. I believe it or not, I got a good clap. It's a great film. Great Adur Gopal. What a fantastic film. I think you should see it. You should see it. So, this is appreciation of cinema. This is humanities. I think we should have appreciation of cinema in our curriculum. We should have appreciation of arts in our curriculum. Show a modern art. Show a modern art. Modern art is something. I've gone through that. Go to art gallery and see modern art. So modern art, see, the art is not about expressing everything explicitly. There is something implicit. The modern art, like a person A looks at a modern art, person B looks at modern, the perceptions are different. Modern art is all about that. You will see something, other person will something. Then they come and discuss and see. That is creativity. That's creativity. I think you talked about creativity, but I think the source of creativity is humanities. In fact, I know my friends, my students are here, how much I love about Max, yes? Yeah, how much I talk about Max. I am passionate about Max. I came to engineering because I loved Max. That was the time. So you love Max, you go to engineering. We had only two options. You love biology, you go to medicine. I was the one who loved Max. My students know that how crazy I am about Max. But today I feel that Max is not about everything. Equations are not about everything. That is humanities. So I think the literary club, according to me, should come into the curriculum. I think this is something, Dean Academics is not here. I think Sir is here. Please pass it on. And I'm sure that as university, I'm sure that we are going to have great curriculum with great flexibility. And I'm sure that things will happen. So with these few words, I'm sure it's getting late. And I congratulate all of you once again for the wonderful opportunity given to me. I didn't expect this. And my vice chancellor would have given a much better speech than me, I think. In fact, I didn't come prepared really for the speech. I only had this idea. Like I was thinking about other co-publication, the time I went through. It was wonderful. I think you should watch. Please, all of you watch. If there's a possibility, watch Muhammad. It will be crazy for you. I think sure this generation will not see it for 1 minute, but develop the passions. Thanks a lot. Best wishes.
Before we start the prize distribution, I'd like to call a few of the alumni on the stage. We have the initiators of the club on the dais. We have the initiators of the play among the audience. I would like to call upon Karthikeyan and Srinidhi, who were responsible staging of the first play here, the taming of the shoe, and that started the tradition of staging of the plays here. Please be on. I request Nathu to please hand over these mementos as a token of our love to the two of them. Nazmo and Memlino, please come forward. Can we have all the other alumni also here? Sai Balaguru, please be on stage. The great quizzer. Shafina, Vicky, Karthik, Arun and Ravi Varma, please onto the stage. Ram Vignesh, please come. Does anybody else here have a left out somebody? Neeraj, please. Can you please hand over the mementos to them, the secretary, please? Is Purushottam here? Purushottam was somewhere here. Rupam, Purushottam? No. Thank you all of you for being here. We'll start with the prize distribution.
Now it's time to announce the prize winners of the Curioso 2020. I call upon Rajasimhan, our student mentor, to announce the first year prize winners.
Gurundra, MS of CS department, student save first prize. Surendra, you of IT department, Damsharat first place and Potpuri first place. Jaideshwari of IT department, Potpuri first place. Gayatri of IT department, Potpuri first place. Harendra of ECE department, Potpuri second place. Lakshmi Narayana Perumal S, ECE department, Potpuri second place. Jaideshwari of IT, Potpuri first place. Gayatri of IT department, Potpuri first place. Harendra of EC department, Potpuri second place. Lakshmi Narayana Perumal S, EC department, Potpuri second place. Nivela of IT Department, Birdmaster, second place. Sarmati of IT Department, Shipwreck, second place. Shrikant Ji of Mechanical Engineering, Spelby, third place. Dharmeshwari A, CS students A, third place. Shaktipriya Mechatronics, Damsharas, third place. Shalini V of IT Department, Damsharas, third place. Navin K of IT Department, Damsharas, first place, and letter to the editor, first place. Kailash S of EC Department, State of Union, first place. Spinner Tail, second place. Kishokanan G of CS Department, Damsharas, first place. Poets on second place. Madesh S of IT Department, Selvi the student, first place. If things are life, third place. Surya Prashant AG of Mechanical Engineering, Damsharas, third place. Iris Mike is third place. Kirtika R of IT Department, Damsharas, third place. Letter to the editor, third place.